Most closers think that follow-up calls are a normal part of the sales process. But the truth is, you shouldn't be booking follow-up calls at all. That's number one. But number two is, when you do book them, most closers start that second meeting completely wrong. So in this episode, I'm going to explain why follow-up calls are a symptom of a broken sales process, and I'll show you the vibe check method that allows you to cut through the chase and close the deal in under 20 minutes in those rare occasions where a second call, a follow-up call, is actually necessary. Let's get into it. You have the mic.
Okay, so this question's unrelated. I'm going to switch. I have a follow-up call with somebody who is like in the process of making a decision about the program. And I think her objection to joining is financial. She's just recently lost like a Social Security payment that she had been getting from her deceased husband for her kids. So she's lost like $6,000 a month in income. I do not doubt though that she can afford the program. She's making like 200 grand a year with her spa. Her husband works a government job. He's also like getting ready to be like a college basketball coach. Like they've got income coming in, but she's concerned about like whether she can afford the investment at this time, given the current situation and her like recent expenses. And, she expressed that the program itself is like very appealing and it aligns with her needs, but the logistics of paying for it are like her primary concern. So we went over everything already. So this call today is kind of like a decision call, like, hey, like what you decide kind of call. So I'm just wondering like what the best approach is in this situation.
When you start the call, always just do a vibe check. Hello, blah, blah, blah. Can you hear me? Cool. Awesome. Cool. How are we feeling? This is our second call. We spoke yesterday or whatever, or third call, whatever it might be. We've gone over everything. How are we feeling? I'm feeling good. How are we feeling about the program and everything? Obviously, right? Feeling good, da, 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 da. And then it's like, cool. How can I help you? Where do you want to go from here?
Okay.
Right. And now they're just going to tell you, yeah, let's do it. Or blah, 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 objection, whatever. And then we just start handling.
Okay. So there's no need to like go in and like recap, like here's what we talked about last time or any of that kind of stuff.
If it's just like, if you talk with her, with her like yesterday, not really.
Like 2 days ago.
Yeah. I mean, just do the vibe check. Do the vibe check. How are we feeling? After our conversation on Monday, I would love to know first, like, how are you feeling about everything? And then just make a read there. Like, if you see that they're like, I'm fine, yeah, blah, 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 and they don't expand, then it's like, okay, let me remind her what's going on here. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, just to make sure that I'm following along, because I speak with a lot of people. Have your notes here. You just let me know. So the biggest, and then you just do a little recap there, right? But if she's like, oh, I'm feeling really good, I've been reflecting about all of this, and this is very important for me because this and this and this. I really was looking forward for this call, but this is happening, and la da 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 da. There's more investment there. You can do a temp check again if you want. It's like, cool, okay, money aside, because the most important thing for me is the alignment and your level of commitment, because that's really the determining factor. Money aside, do you truly, genuinely feel that this is what you need? Yes, but why though? And do you truly, genuinely believe this is the right moment to start working on these things on yourself, and rather than to put it off? Why though? Okay, so, and then you just go, okay, so out of the options that we've discussed, how are we feeling there? Talk to me. Oh, the 2-pay is too much, blah, 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 da, 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 whatever. Okay, what do you mean by that? Or do whatever. Okay, so if there was a way in which we could break it down and make it kind of like more digestible for you, kind of like maybe just do a 3-pay potentially, just so that it doesn't, you don't have this feeling of being so tight. Like, would that help you move forward today? Oh, if you could do a 3-pay, that would be amazing. Well, let's see what we can do, and then you start doing open wallet, capital available. How about 30 days from now, 30 days later? Okay, if we were to do this and this, would that work for you? Would help you actually kick things off and actually overcome your fears and get started today. Yes.
In this situation, we already talked about payment plans. She already knows they're available.
Yeah, so then that's it. Yeah.
Okay. So it's really.
So if it's logistical, just make it work for her. If there's anything that that you allow, because that's very personal for every founder. It's like, hey, I'm not willing to go after a certain amount of installments. Like, that's very personal. So if there's something that you guys can work with, boom, you're gonna roll them, and if not, no. Now, if it's a situation where they have the funds, I would highly, highly recommend it. And it's not because I want to add complexity, but it's just like, I really genuinely believe is a great asset for any business, is to downsell them. For example, this offer that I'm working with, they have like a 5K package. But if someone is very, very tight and it's like, oh my goodness, like it's too much, it's like, cool, like we have a 1K option. You can at least get started doing something about this and wake up tomorrow knowing that the change has already begun.
Yeah.
But you can always do nothing, and it's just like this is only the training. But at least we got them in the pipeline, we keep them in touch, and then 2 to 3 months from now we can maybe they can join or whatever. So it's just like kind of like having them doing some form of progress.
Okay. Yeah, I've got several downsell options that could work if they need to. Cool. I think that'll go well. And then my only other question was trying to trying to get to the point where my setter can start taking calls, as like that first call probably, and then me closing it unless she's able to do it as a one call close without them talking to me. But I'm wondering what the best places are to start like restructuring like our messaging in the DMs, because right now she's me in the
Hmm.
DMs. I don't know if we
Yeah.
need to start speaking to people differently in order to then have
No.
her get on the first call, or how
So
do you
so
position that?
so, so the change starts when you propose the call. Because I would assume that you right now are proposing like, would it be helpful if we were to set up a call so that we can have a chat about da 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 da. That's where it starts. So
Okay.
instead of saying that, you say, okay, cool. So in that case, would it be helpful if I were to pair you up with my team so that you can have so that we can have a proper conversation about this and see if and how we might be able to. So you start talking in the
Okay.
form of we instead of I. So right in that moment, you start talking in we terms and you add my team. That's how we did it with Bastion. So it's like, cool. So would it be helpful if I were to send you my team's calendar so that you can have a call with my right hand person and see if and how we might be able to help you get this solved? Yes, cool, awesome. So they just like it's there. Oh, it wouldn't be. Oh no, if they say, oh, it wouldn't be with you. It's like, no, I don't take this call. So if you want, you can talk with my right hand person. If not, that's fine. Oh, okay, cool. And they just book in, and then all the messaging in the emails and the Calendly and everything they see is about talking with your team. That's the only thing. That's it.
Okay, so we change that. Do we let them know that they're like maybe after that call they get on the call with me, or no? It's just kind of like we just leave it like that. I'm afraid like with my business being as personal it is, like that people will be turned off, which I think is probably just my own beliefs. But
Yeah, no worries. It's a belief. Like no, you don't just switch that part and you're good.
yeah, it's a growth edge though, because I've never had anybody else do the call, so I'm like it's kind of like up against the edges, like trying to figure out
No,
how
no,
to
no. I mean,
put that
it's
in place.
it's a good problem to have when you have
It's
to
a
start
great, yeah, bring me
taking.
all the problems to solve right now. It's fine.
You know what I mean? Know that the close rate is going to drop because nobody can close like the
Yeah,
founder because the founders are the founders. It's just a whatever, but it's just is leverage, right? So
yeah.
is what you need to be able to scale. So that's what we're here. So we'll just help you through it. So if you want me to train your closer, I'll train them, get them on these calls. If you want to
Yeah,
build
actually, I was just telling her
using
about the
some
calls today,
process.
so she might start coming. So if you see,
Yeah.
popping up on